The Way of the Superior Man, by David Deida. Introduction. Imagine this. You've just had the best day of your life. After years of grinding, of pouring your heart and soul into your work, you've finally done it. You've closed the deal, made the sale, achieved the breakthrough. You walk through your front door, feeling 10 feet tall, holding a victory that feels like it could change everything. You find your partner and say, "I did it. I just made $1 million." You expect fireworks, celebration, a moment of shared triumph. Instead, she looks at you, her expression flat, and says, "That's nice. Did you remember to pick up the milk on the way home?" In that moment, a man might feel a surge of confusion, of frustration, maybe even anger. He might think, how can she not see what this means? How can she be focused on milk? But what if I told you that her question wasn't about milk at all? What if that single, simple question was actually a profound test of your character, a test you were either passing or failing in that very instant? This is the world we're stepping into today. A world explored with unflinching honesty in David Deida's modern classic, The Way of the Superior Man. This isn't just a book. For many, it's a manual for a completely different way of living. Published in 1997, it has become an underground phenomenon, a guide for men, and the women who love them, who feel that something essential has been lost in the modern world. Deida noticed a problem. He saw men caught between two unfulfilling ideals, the aggressive, emotionally stunted macho jerk of the past, and the overly agreeable, sensitive wimp who has lost his direction, his spine. He saw relationships where the passion had fizzled out, replaced by a kind of friendly, lukewarm partnership. He asked a powerful question: where are the men who can unite a strong, unwavering purpose with a deep, open heart? And so, he wrote this book. It's a guide for a new kind of man. One who is purposeful and directed, yet sensitive and spiritually alive. One who isn't afraid of his own power, nor of his own heart. Today, we are going to unpack the core lessons of this remarkable book. And I promise you, by the end of our time together, you will understand the hidden dance of masculine and feminine energies that governs not just our relationships, but our entire lives. You will discover why your life's purpose must come before everything else, and how that single decision can unlock the deepest love you've ever known. And you will learn how to live with an open heart, even when it hurts, and find the freedom that lies on the other side of your greatest fears. This is more than just a summary. It's an invitation to rediscover the deepest, most authentic part of yourself. Book summary. Let's start with a foundational mistake that almost every man makes. It's a quiet assumption, a myth we tell ourselves. The myth of one day. We think, one day, when I have enough money, I'll finally relax and do what I love. Or, one day, when the kids are grown, my life will be my own. Or maybe, one day, my partner will finally understand me, and the arguments will stop. We live our lives waiting for a destination, a moment of completion when everything will finally be sorted out. But David Deida begins with a stark and liberating truth: that day will never come. Life, he says, never truly gets done. As long as you are alive, there will be challenges. The world, and your relationships, will constantly present you with unforeseen problems and beautiful, chaotic messes. The masculine error is to believe that life is a problem to be solved. It's not. It's an ocean to be navigated, a dance to be danced, a gift to be given. So, he offers a challenge right from the start: stop waiting. Whatever it is you're waiting to do until your life is perfect, start doing it now. Spend at least 1 hour a day on it. Don't let your obligations become an excuse for not living. Most of the time, our postponements are just a cover for a lack of discipline. The men who live significant lives are the ones who never waited for permission, for security, or for the perfect moment. They gave their gift, right in the middle of the storm. Every moment you wait is a moment wasted, and each wasted moment erodes the clarity of your purpose. This brings us to the absolute core of Deida's message, the pillar upon which everything else stands: a man's purpose. In the world of masculine and feminine energy, Deida explains, the masculine core is driven by a mission. It is the search for freedom. It's the desire to break through constraints, to achieve a goal, to overcome a challenge and stand in the release that follows. This is why men are often captivated by sports. A football game is a beautiful ritual of mission and freedom. The team has a mission: get the ball to the end zone. They face immense constraint, an entire team of powerful men trying to stop them. The moment of ecstasy is when the player breaks free, running into the open field, achieving the mission. That releases a taste of freedom. The feminine core, on the other hand, is driven by the search for love. Its priority is not the destination, but the quality of connection, the flow of energy in the present moment. Its bliss is not in emptiness, but in fullness. This is why romantic movies and deep conversations about relationships are often forms of feminine entertainment. They are about being filled with love. Here is the critical distinction. For a man with a masculine essence, even if his relationship and family life are full of love, his core will feel empty unless he is living his deepest purpose. For a woman with a feminine essence, her professional life can be a massive success, but her core won't be fulfilled unless love is flowing in her intimate life. This creates what Deida calls the primary asymmetry in relationships. Your mission is your priority. Your woman's priority is the flow of love. And if you don't understand this, you will be in a constant state of confusion. A man must admit to himself that if he were forced to choose between a perfect relationship and achieving his highest purpose, he would choose his purpose. This isn't selfish, it's honest. When a man prioritizes his relationship over his purpose, he weakens himself. He becomes directionless, ambiguous. His presence in the world is diminished, and so is his presence with his woman. She feels his emptiness, his lack of a solid core, and she cannot trust him. She might not say it, she might not even consciously know it, but she will feel it in her bones. She wants to feel that you are dedicated to something larger than her, larger than the relationship itself. She doesn't actually want to be your number one. She wants to feel that your highest purpose, your mission, your truth, your connection to the divine, is your true north. Because if you are anchored to that, she can trust you to navigate the storms of life. She can relax into her feminine radiance, knowing you are steering the ship. If you make her the ship, the anchor, and the North Star all at once, you both become lost at sea. Your woman will be far more fulfilled by 30 minutes of your complete, undivided, loving presence, a presence that comes from a man who is full because he is on his path, than by hours of your weak, distracted attention because your heart is secretly elsewhere. So, how do you find this purpose if you don't know it? Deida says you must discover it, now. It is the most urgent task of your life. And it is a process of shedding layers. The outer layers are often the purposes you inherited from your parents or society. As you live them fully, they eventually become empty and boring. This isn't a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. When a purpose no longer calls to you, you must be willing to let it go, to enter a period of unknowingness, and wait for a deeper vision to emerge. This requires courage. It requires a willingness to change everything in your life. This path of purpose is not a smooth, comfortable journey. It requires you to know your edge, and to lean just beyond it. Your edge is where you stop, where you compromise, where you cater to your fears. A man's growth is optimized when he is constantly leaning just slightly beyond his comfort zone. Not so far that he breaks, but just far enough that he feels the sharp, constant presence of his fear. Fear, in this context, is not an enemy. It's a compass. It shows you where your edge is. Leaning into that fear, becoming its friend, is where real transformation happens. A man who is comfortable and secure is often a man who is spiritually dead. The aliveness you seek is found right at the boundary of your fear. This fearless, purpose-driven life is the foundation for a passionate, thriving relationship. Because once a man has his direction, he can truly meet the feminine. And meeting the feminine, as Deida explains, is an art form in itself. He offers a revolutionary perspective. Women are not liars. This might sound shocking, because to a man, a woman can often seem to be lying. She says one thing and does another. She says she hates you one moment and loves you the next. She says she doesn't want to go to the movies, but when you playfully insist, she happily goes. The masculine mind, which values facts and consistency, sees this as a lie. But Deida says we're listening wrong. A man's word is his honor. He means what he says. But the feminine speaks a different language. Her words are not statements of fact, they are expressions of her feeling in the moment. Her truth is the flow of her emotions, and that flow is as changeable as the weather. When you listen to your woman, he advises, listen to her as you would the ocean or the wind. Her words are the sound of her energy. So when she says, I hate you, in a moment of anger, it's not a final verdict on your character. It's the sound of the storm passing through her. The mistake men make is to believe the literal content of her complaint. We hear you never clean the garage, and we think the problem is the garage. But the garage is almost always content-free. The real message is often a feeling of being unloved, or a sense that she can't trust your masculine core. She feels your lack of purpose, your broken promises, your ambiguity, and that feeling manifests as a complaint about the garage, or the finances, or the fact you're watching TV. To analyze her complaint is to miss the point entirely. To argue about the facts is a losing game. The solution is almost never found in fixing the problem she's talking about. The solution is to re-establish the flow of love. 90% of her emotional problems, Deida claims, stem from feeling unloved. When she is in a dark mood, he says, don't analyze her. Don't ask her a dozen questions to get to the root of it. Assume she is not feeling loved, and give her your full, penetrating presence. Look deeply into her eyes, hold her, stroke her, and let her feel your unwavering love. Chances are, the storm will pass, and the problem will evaporate. This is why a woman tests her man. Her tests, her complaints, her challenges, her shifting moods, are not meant to annoy you. She is testing you to feel your freedom and your depth. She is poking you to see if you will be knocked off your center. She wants to feel that your happiness is not dependent on her approval. She wants to feel that you are uncollapsible. This brings us back to the story from the beginning. The man who made $1 million. When his woman asked about the milk, she wasn't diminishing his success. She was testing him. She wanted to feel that his sense of fullness came from his own core, from his purpose, not from his external achievement or from her praise. If he gets angry or deflated, he fails the test. He has shown that he needs her validation. But if he can laugh, stay full and strong, and sweep her into his arms with a powerful, humorous love, he passes. He has shown her that his truth is unperturbed by her challenge. In that moment, he becomes Shiva, the divine masculine, and she can finally relax and surrender into his presence, trusting him completely. And this, Deida says, is the secret: it never ends. A woman will always test her man for the pleasure of feeling his strength. The most loving women will test you the most, because they see your potential and refuse to let you settle for anything less than your most magnificent self. This dynamic requires a man to embrace his own dark side. Not the abusive, violent darkness of a broken man, but the powerful, untamed energy of the warrior of love. Your woman, he says, wants the killer in you. She doesn't want you to actually be a killer, but she wants to feel your capacity to be fearless in the face of a threat. She wants to know that if a burglar breaks in, you will be the one to face the danger, not because you are a brute, but because you are willing to transcend your fear for the sake of love. This fearlessness is the ultimate masculine gift. When you are unwilling to express your dark, passionate energy in love, to ravish your woman with an aggressive, all-encompassing desire, that energy goes underground and can turn into unloving fantasies or a general sense of being bored and disconnected. Ravishment, he clarifies, is not rape. The difference is love. It is about lovingly forcing your woman to surrender into a greater ecstasy than she would allow herself. This leads to the realm of sexuality. For Deida, sex is a spiritual practice. A man's tendency is to seek release through ejaculation. It's that same masculine drive for freedom from constraint. But he argues that excessive ejaculation depletes a man's life force. It makes him mediocre. He loses the extra gusto required to live at his edge. A superior man learns to convert his orgasm. Instead of a genital release that ends the session, he learns to circulate that energy up his spine, into his brain and heart, creating a whole-body orgasm that rejuvenates him and allows him to continue making love for hours, taking his woman into deeper and deeper states of surrender. When a man ejaculates easily, his woman feels, on a subtle level, that he cannot be trusted. If she can deplete him so easily, so can the world. By mastering his own sexual energy, a man demonstrates a mastery that she can trust in all areas of his life. This is a path of practice. It involves breathing down the front of the body to stay open and relaxed, rather than tensing up in the face of pain or stress. It involves spending time in solitude or with other men who will challenge your mediocrity. Your purpose is restored in solitude and with the challenge of other men. Your woman's radiance, by contrast, is restored in the company of other women, in celebration and play. You must arrange for both. Ultimately, the way of the superior man is a practice of dissolving. It is about embracing every moment, the pain, the pleasure, the chaos, the beauty, as a lover. It is about loving so fully, giving your gift so completely, that you forget to hold on to yourself. You feel through your woman, you feel through the world, and you let the force of your love carry you into the infinite freedom that was your true nature all along. Fear is the final excuse. The superior man doesn't fight it. He loves through it. Commentary. As we draw this to a close, it's clear that The Way of the Superior Man is not a comfortable book. It's designed to shake you. It challenges nearly every modern convention about relationships, gender, and purpose. And for that very reason, it has remained profoundly relevant. In a world that often feels directionless, where traditional roles have dissolved and left many people confused, David Deida offers a compass. It may not point in the direction everyone wants to go, but it points somewhere clear and strong. The most powerful, and perhaps most controversial, lesson is the unapologetic insistence that a man's purpose must come before his relationship. In our culture, this can sound selfish. We're taught that our partner should be our everything, that we should find our happiness in them. Deida turns this on its head. He argues that a man who makes a woman his purpose places an impossible burden on her, and, in the process, loses the very thing she was attracted to, his solid, directed, masculine core. By dedicating himself to a higher mission, he becomes a more present, powerful, and loving partner. He gives her the gift of his fullness, not his neediness. This is a radical idea, but for anyone who has felt the slow drain of passion in a relationship, it offers a compelling diagnosis. The book is a masterclass in polarity. It reminds us that attraction is not born of sameness, but of difference. The magnetic pull between two people, that thrilling, alive, and sometimes maddening energy, comes from the dance between the masculine and feminine poles. Deida's work is a call to amplify that polarity, not to neutralize it. It asks us to celebrate these differences, to play with them, and to use them as a fuel for both passion and spiritual growth. So, how can you begin to apply these potent ideas in your own life? Starting today, here are 3 simple practices. First, reclaim 1 hour. Just one. Think about that thing you've been telling yourself you'll do one day. The thing that feels connected to your deepest truth, your real gift. Maybe it's writing, starting a business, learning an instrument, or simply spending time in nature. Deida's first challenge is the most practical. For the next week, dedicate 1 uninterrupted hour each day to that purpose. Don't wait for your life to clear up. Give your gift now, in the midst of the chaos. See how it changes the texture of your days? Second, practice presence over analysis. The next time you find yourself in a tense moment with someone you love, and they are expressing a complaint or a difficult emotion, resist the urge to fix it. Resist the urge to debate the facts. Instead, for just 2 minutes, do nothing but offer your full, silent, loving presence. Breathe deeply. Open the front of your body. Look into their eyes. Don't try to solve the problem with your mind, try to dissolve it with your heart. This is not about being passive, it's about wielding the power of unwavering presence. And third, lean into your edge. Sometime today, you will feel fear. It might be a small fear, the fear of speaking up in a conversation, of making a difficult phone call, of being honest about your feelings. When you feel it, recognize it as your edge. And then, just for a moment, lean slightly beyond it. Take 1 small step into the discomfort. This isn't about reckless action, it's about the constant, gentle practice of expanding your capacity for life. That was a summary of The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida. We've journeyed through the core ideas today, but I have to be honest with you. A summary is like looking at a photograph of the Grand Canyon. It can show you the shape and the colors, but it can't possibly convey the feeling of standing on the edge, of feeling the wind, of sensing the immense, silent power of the place. The real magic of this book is in the way its words land in your own life, at just the right time. This summary is a map, designed to help you decide if this is a journey you want to take. If anything we've discussed today has sparked something in you, if it felt challenging or true, then I encourage you to get a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning. It's an experience that can fundamentally shift the way you see yourself, your relationships, and your place in the world. The link to the book is in the description. Also, if you found this summary valuable, and you're ready to explore more of the transformative books on the Billionaire's Bookshelf, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe. It tells us we're on the right track and ensures you won't miss our next deep dive. Let's keep growing together.